Hello, I'm Hannah Martin from Talent Ladies Club, and this is the video you need to watch if you're comparing yourself with your competition. Now, it's human nature to compare ourselves with others. It's one of the reasons why Facebook is so popular, because we all love to go on there and look at people we know and see, how does our life stack up with theirs? Is our relationship as happy as theirs? Do we have our holidays as nice as theirs? As children as well behaved as theirs? It's always quite natural to look at other people and kind of compare or measure yourself against them. But it might be natural, but it's not terribly healthy. Because actually, the truth is, we don't really know what someone else's life is like, and we don't know how happy or not it makes them. The only real truth we should care about is how happy and successful we are and we feel. The only real competition we have is ourselves and the goals we set ourselves and the journey we have ourselves. So really all that matters is, are you happy? Do you have a relationship that you are happy in, and your children, they measure up to your standards of behaviour? Do you enjoy your holidays? That's really all that counts. But in business, it's very, very, very easy to indulge in comparisonitis, especially when we see a business that actually we maybe started at the same time as ours, or is in a similar industry to ours, or maybe is in direct competition. And we can get in this mindset that if they're successful, we're somehow less successful. And it's that scarcity mindset. The idea is there's a finite amount of success, and that if someone has more, we will have less. That there's like one pie, and if someone has 2 out of the 6 slices, it means there's only 4 left for everybody else. Actually, the way we prefer to look at business and life in general is with an abundance mindset, and the idea that there is plenty there for everybody. There is a finite number of slices of a pie, so just because someone else has 2 slices of a pie doesn't mean that's 2 less for you. That actually what really counts is, are you growing a business that is targeted to the right audience, that offers products and services that they really want, that is priced at a price they can afford, that is reflective of the value you offer? And do you have a genuine USP, which means that you might have competitors, but actually your ideal customers will come to you because you are the only people that give them exactly what they need. So in that kind of mindset, it doesn't really matter what your competition are doing, because there's only one of you, and you have a unique business, and you serve your customers, and you can be successful and your competitors can be successful. However, I know that it's very easy to still get sucked into that comparisonitis, to have a look at competitors' Facebook feeds or social media feeds, or to see their marketing and what they're putting out there, and to feel bad, because it might be that you're going through a difficult time in your business, you're really struggling, and if you see a competitor doing really well, you can feel really disheartened, and you can feel like maybe you should give up, but maybe your business isn't working. So I'm going to tell you 5 reasons now why comparing yourself like that to other people isn't just unhelpful, but it's inaccurate, and why that comparison isn't strictly true. Okay, so reason number 1, you're comparing your truth with their marketing. Okay, so when you compare yourself to another business, what you're comparing is the message they're putting out into the world. You're reading their PR, you're reading what they might have planted in or got stories in newspapers and magazines. You're reading what they're putting out there on social media. You're reading what you hear people say about them. You're reading their marketing. You're reading the impression they want the world to have of what they're doing. And you're comparing that with your truth. So you're not comparing it even with your marketing, because you don't know. People might have a different perception of your business. They might see from your social media channels, from the media that you are getting, from what people are saying about you, people might think you're successful. But you're comparing their marketing with your truth and what you genuinely know about your business. So you're not comparing like for like. You don't know that another business that's got wonderful marketing, that's got great PR, that's got a brilliant reputation in the industry isn't really struggling. Actually, their profit margin is tiny, or they're not really getting the number of customers that you think they're getting, that they say they're getting. You don't know that. They may have 50,000 followers on Twitter, but they're not making any money. I know today of a number of businesses that are outwardly very successful that are really, really struggling, and some of them may close. And the people out there, you probably will know these businesses as well, and you will have no inkling that they are struggling behind the scenes. So please don't compare your truth with someone else's marketing. Stop it, okay? Because it's not a like-for-like comparison. You're just torturing yourself. That's reason number one. Reason number two is you're not comparing like-for-like again in stages of journeys. So you may have a competitor that is more successful than you, that has more business than you, but they're 2 years down the line, they're 2 years ahead of you. You're comparing your start with their middle, for example. You're comparing different stages of the journey. That they may have been through the process you're going through now 2 years ago. They worked out what wasn't working. They worked out what they needed to invest in. They've grown and they've been successful. You're not comparing like for like, and you certainly don't really know that. You might think that you are, and you don't know it. I know plenty of overnight successes that were working behind the scenes for years. People, entrepreneurs that had 2 or 3 failed businesses, then started a third business that was successful. And this could be your first business, and you're comparing yourself with the business you think started at the same time. But actually, it's just an evolution of 2 other businesses that didn't work. And again, that you're not on the same stages of that entrepreneur's journey and your journey. That entrepreneur has learned lots of lessons that you are learning now before, and now they're reaping the rewards from that. So that's another reason why you should stop comparing, because you do not know you're comparing accurate stages of the journey. And again, you're torturing yourself for nothing. Okay, this is your journey alone. It doesn't matter where someone else is on theirs. The third one is that, and I really strongly believe this, and the longer I'm in business, the more this shows to be true, that business is like that race between the turtle and the hare, or the tortoise and the hare. Okay, so when you start out in business, there will be people that race ahead. There will be competitors you have now that are moving at a faster pace than you. Okay, and please, if that is so, don't worry, don't compare yourself. The only pace you should be running is your own pace, and it should be the right pace for you. I've seen in the past 5 years that Talent Club has been running, I've seen several hares come out of the race, fall out of the race. Okay, I've seen businesses launch just before us, just after us, around the same time, race ahead of us. Some of them got investment really early on and used that investment to propel their business forward. But it's always a bit of a risky game. The investment seems like a really good idea, and we've really built TLC on a lean model. Invest wisely can absolutely help your business grow, and some businesses require investment to get off the ground. But I've also seen businesses get investment and then build a business model that is quite hungry. It's not a lean business model. In order for their business to not just to grow, but to run on a daily basis, it requires quite a lot of money, because they had that early investment. They had that head start that the hare has. And if they don't get that business working exactly right early on, then the wheels can come off of that, because when investment runs out, if the business isn't bringing the money to replace that investment, the business just grinds to a halt. And I've seen that happen in a couple of instances with businesses. The great advantage of doing it the tortoise way, of building a business in a lean way, is you get to make mistakes really early on in a small way, because you haven't invested so much money, and you can't throw money behind a mistake to just get it keep working. You know, if the business model isn't working right and you put enough money behind it, it will kind of limp on for a while. When the money runs, it will stop. But when there's no money propelling a business idea, or propelling ways you're doing something, it will grind to a halt much sooner. So you're forced to tweak it and reevaluate it. So the point of me saying all this is that if you feel like you're a tortoise and you're watching these hares race ahead, don't worry. Trust me, everyone's journey is at their own pace. So they may race ahead and they may succeed. There might be hares out there that are just going to succeed, and that's fine. That's their journey. Okay, it's still not your journey. But there will also be hares that may race ahead of you now, but then you'll catch up. you'll slowly but surely, little but often approach doing all the right things in the right order, consistently day after day, will keep you moving forward if you do that. And at some point you may overtake some of these hares. So please, please, please don't compare yourself to businesses that you perceive to be racing ahead of you, because that's their race. Run your own race and focus on doing your race right. And if you've got your business right and you're doing the right things, you will get there, okay? They may get there ahead of you. They might slow down. They might still make that journey, but they'll slow down and you could come up behind them, or they may come out of the race altogether. But that's their business. It's not yours, okay? Literally, it's their business. It's not your business. Focus on yours, okay? So that's reason number 3. Reason number 4 is, as I mentioned about investment, that other businesses may just have advantages you don't have. Someone can get lucky, they can get investment. They could have had personal wealth that they've put behind that. And I do know from the behind the scenes rumor mills that there are some people out there, particularly in America, who are well known, who have this sub story about how they were sleeping on a friend's couch and they had this amazing business idea and now they're a millionaire. Actually, that isn't the case, that they actually did have a lot of money behind them when they started up, but it makes a good press story. It makes great PR to say, especially if you're selling like how to make a business, if they can say, I was like you, I was worse than you and now I'm rich. It's a great story because you think, wow, if you've done it, I believe that you can help me too. It's not always the case. So when you're looking at someone else's business, again, don't buy their hype. Don't necessarily buy the PR story they're putting out there, because you don't know what advantages they may have. They may have more money than you to start out with. They may have better skills than you. They may have access to something that you don't know. They could, for example, have a contact when they start out that guarantees them business that you don't have. And yeah, it's not fair, but that's how it is. So don't compare yourself with someone else's advantages, okay? Because you just don't know what's going on behind the scenes in their business. You only know what's going on behind the scenes in yours. Again, we come back to this idea, it's your race, okay? So stop comparing yourself with someone else's business when you've got no idea what is happening behind the scenes there. And this all brings me on to point number 5, which is this idea of a race, okay? Imagine you're a runner, okay? You're a sprinter and the race is about to start and you're all lining up and you've each got your own track and you're starting there. And they blow the whistle or shoot the gun, whatever it is they do, and you all start running off. And you're running a race and you're really, really focused, okay? But then you start wondering, gosh, I wonder what my competitor's doing. So rather than focusing on your performance and staying in your lane and getting to that finish line and keeping that finish line in your kind of line of vision, you start looking around, you start looking behind you and alongside you and seeing where everyone else is. What do you think is going to happen then? Okay? Several things will happen. Firstly, your momentum will slow down because your focus isn't on run fast, run fast, run fast. Get to that finishing line. So you're going to slow down because your mind is preoccupied. Then you're going to start looking around. So your focus isn't on where you're running, it's on someone else's path. So you could stumble completely because you're not focusing on where you're running. But you can also find yourself, if you're looking at a competitor, veering into their lane and then following behind them, because where your focus goes, so do you go. But all these things that can happen, I'll tell you what isn't going to happen. You're not going to win the race because you're not focusing on the end line, you're not running as fast, and you're veering off into your competitor's lane. And this analogy works perfectly for business because, as I said several times, when you're in a business, you are running your race. It's your journey. It's your path, okay? You set your goal. You set your finish line. And that should be the only thing that you focus on. You've got no idea where a competitor's finish line is. You've got no idea the journey that they want to take. And also you've got no idea that even if you've got a similar finish line, whether theirs is the right journey. And you could, if you focus too much on a competitor, find yourself veering and changing your business and running a Me Too business for them. If they put out a new product, you're thinking, wow, they've got a new product out. I haven't got that product. I should put that product out too because they're successful. And if I do that product, I'll be successful too. And it's a bum product. It's a dumb product. It's not going to work. You don't know that. You're creating a Me Too business. You're not focusing on your race. You're focusing on their race, okay? If you want to win your business race, don't focus on your competitors. Keep your momentum on your business. Don't get distracted by someone else. Don't get slowed down. Don't get kind of siloed into this cul-de-sac there, where you're creating a me too business because your focus has come off what you're doing and on what they're doing. You lose that natural, instinctive ability to shape your business because your focus is not on what you're doing. You're looking with envy on what someone else is doing. You're trying to reverse engineer their business, and if they are successful, you're trying to work out why, and you're trying to do the same thing, and you've got no idea whether that's what made them successful, even whether it's right for your business. Okay, so please, if you are comparing yourself with somebody else, please stop. For all those reasons, you've got no idea what their real truth is, and it's not your race. Okay, if you run a business properly, so if you are setting the right goals, you've got good missions, you've got a USP that is unique to what you do, and you're investing in your journey, okay? If you're doing that, you put your focus on your business, you're investing in coaching and training, or upskilling in the areas where you lack skills and you lack experience. If you're doing all that and focusing on what you're doing, and day after day you're being that tortoise, you are putting one foot in front of the other and making consistent action day after day, you're not trying to race ahead, you will get to your business goal, I promise you. And it doesn't matter whether someone else gets there before you, they get there quicker than you, it doesn't matter, because actually you can't control those things. They might get there quicker than you, life might not be fair, they might not deserve it, but they might get there. Okay, they might not get there. That's their journey, it's not your business. Focusing on what you're doing, okay, and stop comparing yourself to others. I don't compare myself to others, and it'd be very easy with Talented Ladies Club. There's lots of things we do, and then lots of people out there doing things that are better than us, that are worse than us, that are more successful than us, that aren't as successful as us. But actually, I don't know if they are, because I would only see their marketing. I focus on what we're doing. I focus on the products that we're creating and the articles we put out there. I'm focusing on building relationships with our customers in the way that, and our readers, in the way that feels true to TLC. And that's why TLC is been and continues to be successful, because I'm focusing on what I want to build at my business. And I'm focusing on what I'm good at and what I can offer the people that I really want to serve. And I don't get caught up in what someone else is doing and find myself creating this pale imitation of what they're doing. All right, so please don't compare yourself to others. I know it's easy, but just stop, okay? Because for all those reasons I just mentioned, it's your journey and it's your race. I would really love you to win your race, not win someone else's race, win your race. So don't be afraid to be the tortoise in that race and follow your journey.